What is going on, everyone? This is Ninja Geek here, bringing you a kind of controversial topic. I don't know how long this video is going to be because, it's just going to be me talking and I guess ranting on about this topic that you're seeing in the title. But before we start with that, I want to say that the gameplay, I have honestly no clue what it is. I'm just recording this now as my voice, and I'll see how far it goes so I can decide what gameplay to put on it. But I'm pretty sure whatever gameplay I choose, it'll be pretty decent or good or whatever I have to happen to store up. But anyway, before we get started, if you would, you could like the video and subscribe for more Call of Duty content. That would really help on my channel and everything else. So basically, this topic of violent video games, we've seen it, I would say, since the Newtown shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. Actually, where I live, it was like really world news because Newtown is about 20 minutes away from where I live, so it was really big here in Connecticut. It was big worldwide too. It's like one of the bigger shootings that you've seen. It was like a Columbine shooting that everyone's heard of. I mean, if you ask anyone across the world or across America, they would know what Newtown is. And I happen to live 20 minutes away from Newtown, so it's I guess you could say it's kind of scary or whatever, but. Yeah, so if you don't know, that it was basically a shooting that happened there, and it was a terrible tragedy, but we're not getting into that. That was just what happened, and this is what started the whole debate. And I've seen the CNN coverage of this on YouTube and stuff like that. I've seen the videos that happen to be about that and about violent video games and about the gun laws and everything else, like all that, etc. But we're going to focus here on the violent part of the violent video games. And I'm going to basically tell you what I've seen, what I play, and stuff like that. So if you don't know, I play a lot of different games now other than Call of Duty. If you look at my channel, you know that I'm mainly a Call of Duty channel, but I'm starting to differentiate into different games. I'm seeing other games that I really want to play, but that's besides the point. Video gaming in general, it's basically something that people do to I guess it's like a hobby. People do it to have fun. You have fun playing video games, and we're gonna basically talk about Call of Duty here, I guess, or maybe even GTA or something like that, because that's basically where this violence comes in. The media or whoever finds out this information and then gives it to the media, basically the newsrooms, the newscasters, they only say certain things and then they get paid for it. Basically what they do is they just say what they gotta say, and then they get the paper at the end of the day. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but that's basically, in a short rhyme, what happens in this news. And the thing is, everybody watches the news, and even if you don't watch the news like on TV, you're gonna hear about news because it trends on Twitter. It goes through, it's social. News is bigger than it's ever been before. It's everywhere. You see it, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, every social media site that is out there in the entire world. You see news, and if news gets around faster. And basically it was like this back in 2012, and this is what happened. They suspected that Adam Lanza was his name, I believe. Hopefully I get that right off of the top of my head. They suspected that he did this not only because of his passion and he had weapons in the house and stuff like that, but they said that he was an avid Call of Duty player or a video game player. I don't really know if they mentioned Call of Duty, but I think they did mention it. And it's just even if they didn't mention it, it kind of relates to it. So even, let's say he was a Call of Duty or GTA player, slash GTA, whatever, those violent games, they said that those games make you, I don't know the right words for it. They're basically what they're blaming. The media is blaming, not just the media, to the policemen and everyone who finds out this information to give to the media. They are finding out that these video games are what are causing America's youth basically to collapse, and I guess they're blaming this topic, this subject, as the main reason of why America's youth is having these problems, these issues where people are just, I mean, you hear it all the time. There's bomb threats in schools, there's school stabbings now, there's just so much And whenever something like that happens, the media is always like, oh, you know, it's just the video games, we need to tone down on it. And I'm not just talking about video games here, too. I'm talking about movies, music, entertainment, like that. You know, which sometimes it is pretty graphic. Like, you know, I really can't give an example right now off the top of my head, but, you know, sometimes the media out there is just really graphic, and, you know, it could influence stuff like that. But I'm talking about just video games and maybe music and movies here, where, you know, people watch all these movies and they differ from each other too, but the main topic that people seem to blame is video games, not as much as movies and music, because those are things that have been around a really long time. I mean, video games came into the scene around, well, they were like really long ago. I'd say I'd say before Atari the Odyssey, that came out in like the 70s, but movies were around before that. So yeah, so video games have been around since then, and they are obviously here, but they blame the newest thing. What they try and do is they just pick something, a topic, and they blame it on it. And I'm not talking about the media here, because they just report on it and get their paper for the day, their money, and then they walk home and think that nothing happened. But, you know, I mean, and especially the problem is when people watch the news, it's a lot of these older, elderly people. It's not, you know, you don't get like 20-year-olds that watch the news often. I mean, you know, news spreads around like that, but it's the older types of people. They watch the news, and if they find that stuff out, they just agree with it because it's news. They think that it's all right. Well, those newscasters, those media news, the policemen, the government, they lie, and it's really sad because playing, like, I'll give an example. Like, let's say we're playing Call of Duty, or you know, something like that, and you happen to be an advocate weapon owner, like holding firearms in your house or whatever. Because you play Call of Duty doesn't mean that you're going to go out and commit such a crime. It doesn't mean that you're going to do something horrible, you know? You know, they just like to blame it on stuff like that. And because they think they just want to get their jobs done with. They just want it to be over. They're like, oh yeah, this is what's causing the problem, is these violent video games. And I watched, and in fact, there was like a CNN thing going on back in 2012 when the Newtown shooting happened, or after it happened, where there was a statement that said, and it still sticks in my mind, and I hate to even say it out loud. It gets me all like caught up. It was, guns don't kill people, video games do.
We invited Senator Grassley to come out front, but so far he's declined. There's the saying that guns don't kill people, video games do.
And that is what one of the senators said, and they invited a couple people on the show. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but you could even look it up. Like, you could just type in YouTube, like, violent video games cause youth, or whatever it's like, whatever the topic is. It'll be a CNN video. So many dislikes on that video, by the way, because it is true. You know, I mean, people in the comment section were actually being funny. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna walk outside and chuck my Nintendo DS at someone and it's gonna kill them, rather than a gunshot, which, you know, I mean, it's not like that, but you know what we're trying to get at. And what we're going to discuss is the real issues here that are, it's not the video games that are causing this. I mean, sure, there are graphic games. You know, Call of Duty is kind of, you could kind of agree with that. It's not really like, oh my god, graphic. Like GTA is kind of graphic in some parts. But, you know, Call of Duty is basically just like an arcade shooter. The weapons, you know, they sometimes work like real life. But Call of Duty, basically, here's where it gets good. It doesn't teach you how to use a weapon. You just, you know, you're picking your create a class. You see, oh, like, let's say in Call of Duty goes, oh, the SC-2010 looks good. Let's use that. Call of Duty doesn't say, oh, yeah, to reload the weapon, you have to pull back the whatever it is, you know. It doesn't teach you that. You just get in, you shoot, and that's basically it. It's an arcade shooter. It's meant for fun. You get points and you rank up, and that's basically all it is. But, and also one other thing that I want to mention, on the CNN video that I watched, is they made a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake where Black Ops 2 was the game that was coming out, or either it was out. It was back in 2012. So yeah, it was like a month or so after it came out, because this happened in December, the Adam Lanza Newtown shooting, and that's when it came out. And basically Black Ops 2 was out then. We all know Black Ops 2 is published by Activision, made by Treyarch. Well, on their gameplay, first of all, this is something that I noticed going back a few days ago. We're going to break this down for you. I may even put some of the footage in from that if I could find that video again. But first of all, if you don't know who Ali-A is, he's a big YouTuber. He does, like, he's still pretty big now. He has over like 4 million subscribers. You know, back in Black Ops 2, his channel was really good, and I mean it still is, but his channel was booming. It was really good. And this gameplay that they got from Black Ops 2, they just ripped right off of Ali-A's channel. They just took the gameplay and ripped it off. That's step number one that shows that CNN doesn't do very good research, because if they were going to take video, they should have taken it from like the actual trailers itself, not from someone else producing the video. You know, if you're going to look up Black Ops 2, like this game, and we'll say the first option is Ali-A's video, oh yeah, let's just use this. I mean, you saw the Ali-A logo spinning on the site. You couldn't see the whole thing, but I know the Ali-A logo, that was in the video. That's horrible. It's like, I don't even know, it shows that they don't do their research right there. And the second thing that shows that they really don't do their research is because they said that Infinity Ward made this game. It was published by Activision. It said /Infinity Ward. That is completely wrong. It shows that they don't even take the time to look things through. I mean, if they just type in Black Ops 2, Treyarch is going to come right up on the damn list of people that make it, not Infinity Ward. So either, I don't know where they get this information from, but that just shows you that these newscasters, the media, they don't look things up, they get things wrong, and yet they're still trying to influence these people that are watching the news that video games are causing this horrible stuff. Yeah, so I went a bit on a rant there, but yeah, video games, they're saying. Now, here's the real problem. Here's where it comes in. Gun laws, I think they're fine where they are. You know, if you own guns, that's fine. You know, I understand people need defenses from other people, but here is where it gets out of hand, and this is the whole reason. But you want to know why the media doesn't blame the reason? It's that the parents are at fault for not teaching their kids. This is the reason why people are doing this stuff. If parents were good and they learned to crack down and they learned to discipline and they learned to do everything that a normal parent would do, you know, we wouldn't be having nearly as much of these problems. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, video games are completely, like, it's not that they influence them, it's just that they have risen over the years. So I'm not going to say that the parents are 100% at fault, but they are like a majority of 80% at fault for this happening. That, you know, kids aren't being brought up right. When you're not brought up right, your mind isn't thinking straight. When your mind isn't thinking straight, here's where the video games come in. People play these video games, and then they say, oh, you know, I feel like doing this because they weren't taught right from wrong. So then they do something horrible, and then the media goes out there, and then they just see, oh, yeah, he plays video games. That's the reason why. You know, they don't even do background checks on these people. They don't do any kind of stuff like that because, as you know, that I just said that of the CNN video that I saw, they're lazy anyways. They don't do anything, and then they still get paid the money. You know, it's not right. And that's basically the end of the video. I don't even know how long that was, but I hope you did enjoy that. And also, please leave a comment on what you think of this situation. You know, I know it's not really that big now. It was big back then, but I really wanted to talk about it and, you know, get my thoughts out there on my channel, as well as your guys' thoughts in the comments section below. For anyone new that found this video helpful, or that just found this video, leave a like, rating, and subscribe for more Call of Duty content, because as I produce more Call of Duty content, and no, Advanced Warfare will not influence people to go to some school or anything and kill someone. That's in the mind, like we've already discussed, in the mind. But yeah, Advanced Warfare is coming out. I do hope that that's a good game, because as we know with Ghost, it just seemed like Ghost is just faded away. And also another thing about Titanfall, I'm going to make a video about that soon and why I haven't been posting that recently, and you'll find that out, but I don't know if that's going to be in tomorrow's video, but anyways, we'll see. That's just too far down the line. But yeah, so leave a comment like I said before. I really want to know what your guys' opinions are, and for anyone new, just leave a comment too. I'm Ninja Geek. I'll see you on whatever my next video happens to be. I'm out. Peace.